purpose, meaning to that invitation. First, people will ask you, tara kapit tayo, because they want to know some chismis. They want to be updated with your life, or you want to be updated in someone's life. And so people will invite you, will invite you. So, anong meron? So, you talk about your life, other people's lives, o buhay ng iba't ibang tao sa paligid niyo. Second, it can lead you to some financial thing. With something like, open-minded ka ba? Or do you want to invest in this? Something about business, about financial thing. People invite you, tara, kapit tayo for that informal meeting. Second, some can be also for a utilitarian purpose. People will invite you, especially now that Burma is coming. People who are collecting stickers will invite you for a coffee, not to be with you, but for the sake of stickers. But I realize that same invitation can also be a cry for help of people who are so disturbed or people who are confused of what to do with their life. May mga taong parang nalulunod na sa problema, hindi na alam ang gagawin sa kanilang buhay. Sobrang stuck up na sa kanilang mga pinagdadaanan. And they just want someone to talk with. They just want someone who can understand them. Someone who will listen to them without judging them. And thus, minsan, kahit nagpapalpitate na ako or being a cynic, I cannot refuse people who are inviting, tara, kapit tayo. Because it might be their last straw of hope to get out of the situation, or for them just to realize how to get out of their way sa kanilang mga problema. And oftentimes, admittedly, wala naman ako naiambag. I just go there to listen to them. But while listening to them, while they talking about their problems, it's like half of that is being resolved. They realize when they were able to verbalize their problem, siguro ito yung dapat kong gawin. Siguro this is how should I react it or do something about it. It is something that is not about giving solution, but being there for other people. And thus they realize help is always there. Help is always available. We just have to ask with a simple gesture, tara, kapit tayo. And often, I will be asking them, in all of these that are happening in your life, sa lahat ng mga pinagdadaanan, problema mo ngayon, where do you think is God? Or what God is telling you in the midst of this? Ano nga ba yung maaring sinasabi ng Diyos? O nasa ng Diyos sa lahat ng bagay na ito sa iyong buhay? In life, we experience many kinds of storms, di ba? Marami tayong mga bagyo sa ating buhay. Sino dito ang walang pinagdadaanan o problema? Taas ang kamay. Mamaya uutangan natin para magka-problema sila. Para magka-problema sila. No one is spared of that having problem. Even as priests, minsan, akala ng iba, hindi kami nagkakaproblema. But there are many battles and storms that only us and God knows. Maraming mga pagsubok at pinagdadaanan din kami. And each one of us, the same is true. Human as we are, this is a reality in our life. There are sickness, financial problems, relationships within the family. Maraming problema. Even the loss of someone, something that we go through, storms that we go through in life. These things in front of us can cause us to fear. Problems, sufferings can be overwhelming. Na minsan nakakalulod na other people cannot find their way out. They're feeling they're stuck in the problem. And sometimes they're even asking, Father, totoo bang may Diyos? Or nakikinig ba talaga yung Diyos sa aking mga problema, sa aking mga pinagdarasal? It seems He's so deaf or indifferent sa aking mga hinaing sa Kanya. Because God is so distant. But storms are inevitable realities. wala sa atin ang walang problema. But in here, we realize God is always there. The same true, that sometimes we just have to ask, tarakapit tayo, that God comes to us. I realize not all heartfelt conversations are happening in the confessional box. Hindi lang sa mga confessional box may mga umiiyak. Even over a cup of coffee, we can encounter God. We can encounter the mercy of God. And God can answer through those encounters. In our first reading, we have heard a beautiful encounter of God and Elijah. It's so popular about that exchange where there was this currents, there was this earthquake, there was this wind, there was this fire, but neither of these is where God is. We're going to backtrack a bit to story ni Elijah. Bakit nga ba naandun si Elijah sa cave in Mount Horeb? Elijah was running for his life. Nagtatago, tumatakas, because people wanted him dead. Queen Jezebel wanted him dead. His own people want him dead. And so Elijah was running away from his people and hiding. At a certain point, he was so depressed and desperate that he said to God, I want to die. Gusto na niyang mamatay because of these things that is going through. And at the foot of the certain tree, sobrang pagod niya, nakatulog siya. Paggising niya, there was a bird carrying a bread for him. So he ate. God told him to eat. So he ate. And after that, he fell asleep again. Paggising niya, may bread na naman, kumain na uli siya. Pagkatapos natulog uli siya. Baka ganun din yung sa problema natin. Sometimes, we just need to eat properly and to sleep properly. And after that, God told him to go and meet him in that Mount Horeb. And we hear that beautiful encounter, that there was this earthquake, but God was not in the earthquake. There was this wind, but God is not in the wind. And there was this fire, but God is not in the fire. And what comes next is a small, still voice. Isang banayad na tinig, speaking to him, giving him courage, consoling him. God is not always in those extraordinary things in life. God can be speaking to a friend over a cup of coffee. God can meeting us in the ordinariness of our life. But one thing is for sure, God comes to us. He speaks to us. He is always there, comforting us, consoling us in the midst of our storms. Just like in our gospel today, the disciples were being battered by the storm in the sea. Nandun sila sa boat at binabagyo, parang tayo din. And it says it's the fourth watch of the night, meaning it is nearly twilight. But we say that the darkest part of the night is that fourth watch before twilight. Yun yung pinakamadilim na parte ng gabi. And in that, they were being battered by the storms. But in the midst of this, Jesus came to them. And notice na hindi nawala yung bagyo nung dumating si Jesus. The storm continues because it's a reality of life. But in the midst of this, Jesus came to them. Dumating si Jesus para samahan sila. Jesus went and walked on the water just to be with these people who are being battered by the storm. Jesus will come to us in the midst of our storms. Darating si Jesus para samahan tayo sa mga bagyo ng ating buhay. Darating si Jesus para maramdaman natin na hindi tayo pinapabayaan ng Diyos. Darating ng Diyos, even it means walking on the water. He will be there. He will be with us. And in the Jewish belief, the water, the sea, is the realm of evil and the dead. In the bottom of the sea is the Leviathan. And Jesus walking on the water tells us that He has power over death, over evil, over everything that can trouble us. He has power over that. And He can empower us just like Peter. Nung nakita ni Pedro si Jesus na naglalakad sa ibabaw ng tubig, ano sabi ni Pedro? Lord, pati ako palakarin mo at papuntahin sa iyo. And Peter walked on water, and he's going towards Jesus. But seeing the wind and the waves, he got overwhelmed and started sinking. Sometimes ganun din tayo. We got overwhelmed by our fear, by our overthinking, by things that makes us tremble. Na minsan, nawawala yung focus natin kay Jesus. Hinahanap natin yung Diyos sa gitna ng ating bagyo because we are focusing on the problem. We are not focusing on Jesus who comes to us. And so, my dear brothers and sisters, sa gitna ng bagyo, we are assured that God will come to us. In the extraordinary and the ordinary ways, Jesus will be with us. He will come as a small, still voice, and He will come to us, even if it means walking on the water. Amen. May God bless us all.